Hello, Renee Flamond here. I've been waiting to start this video because I know I'm going to get aggravated, and you know how I can get. So I've taken some time and some breathers, but this topic aggravates me. How can it not? These people expect everything to be given to them, handed to them, come to them for nothing. They expect everything for nothing, for no effort. They just want to be in the right place at the right time, I guess, for things to come their way. They never really achieve anything or get anywhere. I mean, the errors that the narcissists make throughout their lives are astounding. Astounding. And I'm going to get to all that in 1 second. But my friend, who is 84, I'm friends with the whole family, okay? There's a grandmother, a mother, a son. Okay, so I'm friends with them all. And they were in town. And this is my friend's mom. She's 84. And she's talking about these grandchildren that she knows, and they don't know their grandfather, people she knows. He's on his, fourth wife, even though he's in his 80s, and they never really know who he's with. And boom, I said, that's exactly how I see my narcissist life going, or any narcissist. I did a video once, I think, about the aging narcissist and how I picture their life and what do the parents tell the kids, and the adult kids start to catch on. It's gotta be a mess. And they don't even know who they're talking to when they're on the phone with their own grandfather. They don't know what woman he's putting them on the phone with. I saw that happen with my narcissist. He tried to make me say hi to his granddaughter. She didn't know who I was. And what a sad life. This cat's 86 years old or something. And she was talking about this guy, and it just came up to my mind. My narcissist has 2 grandchildren he hardly ever saw, 3 sons that, in my opinion, they weren't close. Not my definition of close or seeing each other a lot. He always had a different partner with him when he did see them. So I was hearing this from my friend and her take on the one that she knows. Now, no one is talking about narcissistic personality disorder in those words during this conversation. I didn't bring that up. But these types of people in life are not spoken of fondly. She was not speaking of this person with respect, reverence, or a fondness. Even though they're not described or diagnosed accurately, maybe, as having narcissistic, but he clearly has lived his life creating no real connections, is estranged from his family, on his 4th wife in his 80s. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with 4 wives. Have 8, have 10. But be healthy relationships and don't be duplicitous. My guess is that this guy led a wayward life. They want a life surrounded by people who revere them. Yet the exact things that it takes to have true reverence are those of which they are completely incapable. Integrity, time, loyalty, hard work. People revere those who carry and live and represent to what they themselves aspire, right? So a person that you respect, you revere, think about it. You want to be like them in some way. I don't mean do what they do. I mean inside. That's where reverence is to do with, in my opinion. You liking the way the person is, behaves, carries themselves through life, treats other people. If you aspire to that, that's the person you're going to revere. So they want all of this. Well, it takes an investment of time, consistency, endless effort, unconditional effort to gain that kind of reverence and be that way in life. Unconditional effort you give to other people. An unappreciated effort sometimes. If that's the case, so be it. You make the effort anyway. But that reverence is something that's earned. It is earned. You cannot fake that. You can't buy that. You can't bribe it. There's nothing. You cannot get it. If you don't have it, there's nothing you can do to get it except to walk the walk. And they don't. You can't even make somebody fake that for you. It comes from respect, and somebody either has that for you or they don't. And you know if they don't because you know how you've behaved with them. So you know in your head, they know in their minds they're acting in a way that's deplorable. So I would hope that they would know that at least their partners couldn't possibly respect them. But man, do they not go through life thinking they're kings in every other way? And even their partners, I think. They think half the time they think they're putting the wool over our eyes. Pulling the wool. How's that go, right? Yeah, I'm not good with colloquialisms. But I could tell by my friend's honest account of her 84-year-old perception of this 86-year-old person in her age group, how disgusting they will always be. They've set up their pattern. It can't change, and suddenly they're going to be respectable citizens. I don't think that Ebenezer Scrooge moments happen for narcissists. And they wake up one day, the next morning, and boom, they want to make amends and right every wrong that they ever did. I don't think that's going to happen. It would be lovely. That doesn't happen that way. A portrayal, example of the sleaziness with which they slime through life is played perfectly, if you've not watched it, by John Voight and Ray Donovan. Albeit fiction, but that's the only references we all could have in common to use because we don't know each other. So allow me. It is uncanny. It's going to sound exactly like your narcissist. Exactly like your narcissist. You know, his whole life, and I'm not going to give anything away if you've not seen Ray Donovan, but his whole life, I'm talking about John Voight's character, he plays the father, is one big mess. His kids ruined by him in the ways that a father can ruin a child because his choices trickle down. Think this is going to sound exactly like your narcissist, even though I'm talking about a character. His horrible life. I love the show so much, and you find yourself sometimes in this show rooting for some of these criminal characters, which to me is such a brilliance to achieve on the part with the script for the writers and for the actor and for the director. It's something that just happens, doesn't it? Kind of like in Scarface, right? We're always rooting. We're rooting for the criminals. I am. Ooh, Steve Bauer is in Ray Donovan. I'm rooting for him in both shows. Both of them. It's a brilliance. I think it's the actor, too. They have a way of making you... Well, anyway, I'm not saying I'm rooting for John Voight's character in this, but there are some that you root for. And that's a brilliance. But they're all... It's very based on criminal activity. That's all I'll say. But back to Mickey Donovan. That's the character that John Voight plays. He's going to sound exactly like your guy. Full-blown, erratic, unhealthy sleazeball. Every word he speaks drips with the BS, the malarkey, some cockamamie scheme that he's planning on doing. Nothing comes to fruition in a good way. He isn't there for his kids. All the way into adulthood, he's still doing all of this stuff. He was cheating on his dying wife. Again, I'm being very careful not to give away the plot, you know, because it's an excellent show. If you haven't watched it, you need to do so right away, as soon as you finish this video. John Voight and even the young Mickey really do a phenomenal job capturing the physical sleazeball, snake-like, slippery way these narcissists go through life. Making enemies and dumb moves the whole way. If you watch this, it's like you'll see what I think this is what a narcissist's life looks like. The activities and details could vary from person to person, but they go through life snake-like. I had to look up interviews with John Voight because I had to make sure that he wasn't really like this guy Mickey because he's such a sleazebag. Because I was hating Mickey, which you're supposed to, I think. He's repugnant. But turns out John Voight isn't in interviews. I'm safe. I can sleep now. He's perfectly lovely, actually. He's very nice. He doesn't carry himself the same way. His whole carriage changes when he's Mickey Donovan. It's a pretty brilliant performance. But I had to check. Okay. That happened to me before, sidebar, with a role was played so strongly that I reacted badly to the actor, and it's the highest compliment to an actor. But I hesitate to even say it, but I just will. It was Lawrence Fishburne when he played Ike Turner against Angela Bassett was Tina Turner. I'm telling you, he gave me chills, and there was no let's look up an interview with him. I mean, there was no, I don't even think we had like iPads and could do that then. You know what I mean? And maybe you'd catch one with him, maybe not. But I went through thinking, oh my God, is he that mean of a person? I've still never seen The Matrix. Like, I'm afraid of him. And I have caught interviews of him, and he seems perfectly nice. But it can do that. So I had to look stuff up. He's perfectly lovely. So when I'm discussing the sleazeballness, I am talking about, I think that he's a narcissist. The cheesy clothes. I don't know if yours did this, but the cheesy clothes, the slicked hairstyle, the movements, the carriage, like I said, is slimy. Did your narcissist have that? Like, they reek of an inauthenticity. They reek of it. Nothing about them seems truthful or trustworthy, right? Reminds me of my narcissist to a T. The gold chain. He wears a bracelet, a pinky ring. Not physical, but everything else. Everything else. And just shady. And they do a phenomenal job of showing how every move he makes, he justifies, he stands by, he makes excuses, he defends. Who does that sound like? Every decision is idiotic, selfish, self-serving. Every single one. They feel they're entitled to this money, so take it. Or that money, take it. Just acquiring anything through any actions not honorable, and they feel they're owed. When I leaked into they, I mean there might be other characters in the show that think the same way as Mickey Donovan. But I'm really talking because I'm telling you, I don't know if the script writers or the director or whatever even know the word narcissistic personality disorder, but they wrote the perfect example of one. And how their life can go wrong by one bad decision after another. Watching how he justifies everything and schmoozing people really hit home. Because you know your narcissist does that. That's what they do. They schmooze these people, and then they justify bad moves, and these people who were schmoozed don't know they're doing negative things over here. And there's no glimmer of hard work anywhere, right? There's no honesty anywhere. Not with how he treated his wife, not with how he treats his kids, not with his words. He's always trying to charm the very family member he's either going to bring down or was just duplicitous to their person. I mean, it's so dishonorable every single thing that he does. And you know what? There's a little bit of love bombing for everyone. Okay, sweetheart. Okay, honey. Gives a compliment to the person just before he asks them for something. Starts cozying up to people when he knows he's going to need something. Who does this sound like? And you know you're not. And it aggravates me to no end that these narcissists think they can go through life and just get anything that they want. It's just going to come to them. Because I'm going to plan and plot and have a scream. It's gross. I think it's gross. The way they try to sway people to their side. And they never take any blame if something goes wrong. Even that. They put it on somebody else whose fault it wasn't even. You know? I can't stand that either. They'll pass the blame. Whatever they did, however it went awry, it's never the narcissist's fault, and we all know that. They will never take responsibility, and they will always put it back on you. Even if they manage to say the words, I'm sorry, even if they manage to come up with that, they want you to take the blame. Right? They want you to take the blame. They want something for nothing. They want you to believe them for no effort. They did lie. They did do the thing. But they want you to believe them just because they're saying so. I'm entitled to have you believe me. I'm entitled to not have you put me through this right now. Can you just listen to me and believe what I'm telling you? And then it'll schmooze you a little bit. That's what they do. Am I right? Okay. Whatever, this cat in this show truly has no moral compass, no guilt. Who does that sound like? No remorse. He'll feign remorse. They can say the words, I'm sorry. That can come out of a narcissist. I've heard it many, many times. They don't change, but they'll say it. But he has no remorse. And I think you learn what you see around what you grow up with. So this is a fictional character, so he has sons. Think of your narcissist and narcissists in the world. If they have children, adult children, they're now viewing this man on earth behave this way. Can you imagine? The narcissists don't pass on anything of value to their children in the way of moral code. Children become men and women, and they learn from their father what they saw or mother, they saw them behave like, right? It's not just what you tell your kids, it's how you behave in life. And the cycle continues. And how sad that the spawn of the narcissist gets sucked into the seedy, often criminal, really, really bad things happening world. And then because really bad things happening, the narcissist has the nerve to get upset. Right? To get upset. Throw a fit if something doesn't go their way. They're probably doing something illegal or shady, and they get upset at the world for something not going right. How many times has that happened? I watched mine throw a fit over so many things, and I go, I didn't want to, but it was like, weren't you kind of going on the down low doing that shady thing anyway? Well, I deserve it. But that's how they talk. That's how they think. That they deserve everything for nothing. I don't know. I can't imagine that. They're entitled to take what they want. This character, spends every ounce of his life chasing, deceiving, searching, and never getting anywhere. Never getting anywhere. And they stand by their choices. They stand by their choices as if those choices are righteous. You know what's funny? They play a Linda Ronstadt song, a cover of Eagles' Desperado in the finale. Series finale. And I sang that song to my narcissist once because I said, did you ever hear the song Desperado by the Eagles? He said, no. I said, I sent you the lyrics. Did you read them? No. Because, they don't really look at anything that you send them. And we were already broken up, and he had never heard it. But I would break into song right now, but I'm not sure what's allowed on YouTube. I still don't understand it. Look up the lyrics. It's a narcissist to a 100% T. And it's funny that they chose that song for the series finale. Red flags are all over the place, and character after character gives him chances because he charms them. Narcissist. If you aren't firsthand privy to their shenanigans and only see the charming, it really is nearly impossible to not like a magnanimous narcissist. Some of them are very good at what they do. They're very charming, magnanimous, wonderful creatures. They haven't wronged you yet. That's how they sucked you in. They're very complimentary, all that business. Especially, it's very hard to not see the negative when it's a parental figure and it's you're craving that connection. So this cat comes to his adult sons. A couple of them, the younger one, they're starving for anything from dad. Right? So they're primed for that love bombing. They have a hole. So he's saying something to them in a complimentary way, and he's going to convince them to do him a favor or do something for him, or he wants something from one of them. It's uncanny how he manipulates people. It really is. It's a brilliantly written role, and it's brilliantly played. Like with a narcissistic partner, you can never fully make anyone understand because they see him as charming usually. Funny, fun, nice. If you had somebody really close to you and you broke up with your narcissist and you might have one or two honest people who knew enough and saw enough that were like, oh, thank God, I was wondering when you'd get rid of him. But you might have some people who were like, oh, really? I thought he was nice. And you understand it though, because he was nice to them. It's the same thing. thing. I'm telling you, this show reflects it. It's so much hit home about it. He's charming the younger sons, but the older ones remember. And Ray Donovan can't get to even liking him, but he can't quite make his younger brothers not like him. It's tough for them to see what Ray sees. Because unless you are wronged directly by a narcissist, that this show does a brilliant show of showing that. Unless you're wronged directly, it's hard for somebody to say, well, you know, they did this though. Did you know that? They did this? Well, all right, well, he's changed. Or he's older now. Or maybe he's learned his lesson. That's what somebody being charmed by a narcissist is going to say. Because that's what's happening to them. They're currently being love bombed. You know what I mean? If it's like in the family and you can't get one person to understand your point, they might not be wronging the other person, and it's nearly impossible to see it. When I watched, I wrote something down because I don't want to forget. Oh, Roseanne Arquette makes a guest appearance, and she ignores, I will say nothing. All I'll say is this. You watch her do it. You watch her ignore several huge red flags and has like a back and forth with Jon Voight. And you're shocked because in an odd way, they can suck you in. We know that. They can be charming and whatever. But she ignores what she doesn't like that he says. Stops all over those red flags and pretends what? She didn't hear those crude things? Because you know what? She probably had a hole and was vulnerable and was needing to hear something nice from someone and get attention from someone. Maybe, right? Stomped all over those red flags. They tailor what they say and how they say it depending on who is present. We know that. With just enough charm or humor to attract who they want to do what they want. But the people that are receiving it, definitely, they all have holes that they're trying to fill. I don't know. And, you know, I don't know if Jon Voight knows he's playing somebody with this disorder. And again, like I said, I don't know if the writers or creators have any idea of even this in their minds. But it is an unbelievable portrayal of narcissistic personality disorder, this character. He goes from playing Father of the Year 1 second to one son and blowing up to another son the next. It's unbelievable. It truly displays the hot and cold the narcissist often is. And that, of course, just depends on their mood. How their day is going, what they need from you, want to impose upon you. Even if it's something negative, take from you because they're entitled to have it, even if they didn't do anything to get it. I think that they just want that respect and reverence so much in life, and they just don't feel like doing anything to get it. I think they want that grandiose, wonderful, rich life, and they're too lazy to get it. I think that they have criminal intentions that may seem like an easier road, and so they're going to go that way. Well, why wouldn't I just do that? That'll take me one night to do that. Why would I spend 30 years clocking into that job? Because clocking in for 30 years to that job and going home to your family is where you get the reverence, not the one-night bank job. It's the clocking in. That's what gets you the reverence. It's spending the time. No matter what they do in life, they're going to end up that 86-year-old whose family doesn't even want to be with him. His own family. They're like, they don't even bother. They're like, we hardly know him. He's always with somebody else. I don't know. And he was in and out of their lives because he was doing the whole just like this character thing. It was all related. It made me think of all of it. The 86-year-old that my friend talked about, the character on this show. I think that when you look at the grand life of a narcissist, they don't get everything for nothing. I don't care where you think your narcissist landed, they do not get what they're after. And that is, they want everything for nothing. They may land in some money or have an easy time, or you might think they look happy. They don't get what they want. They want to be king. And they want everyone to think it. And no one ever thinks it. Because there's always plenty of people on the earth who catch on. Adult kids catch on. That's a whole other video. I made one before. I think it's time to do it again. I thank you for watching, and I hope you continue to join us. Please subscribe, hit like and share, become a part of this community. And, do the things. Share if you know someone that might be able to be helped with one of these videos. We're out to help people. That's our goal. We want everyone to hear this message. But I just thought I'd mention it. I find this to be, I don't know, it's a concept that's in the world. It's just the words aren't there. The narcissistic wasn't even called to him by one person in 7 seasons. Never heard the word once. But I'm telling you, it's uncanny. They're everywhere.